coming out of Eastern Oregon, damn near Idaho. You're listening to the Double Talkin with Dog Bite Hair Show.
Alrighty, folks. Welcome everybody to Double Talkin with Dog Bite Harris. On this episode, I talked to Brook Blanch from Brook Blanch and formerly of the Calimty Cubes. We talk about a number of different things. Talk about where he grew up, his upbringing. We talk about new music, things he's working on. We talk about life, just in general. We talk about growing as humans and talk about touring, all kinds of shit. So yeah, it was a good show. I hope you guys enjoy it. We are going to roll in with a little tune by the Calimty Cubes called Same God. But first, here is a word from our sponsor.
Howdy. My name is $2 Illness. I'm the owner-operator of King of the Road VIP Chauffeur Service. That's the tour guide service where you take a tour of Nashville with me, the King.
Well, look out now, I'm cruising around town. You wanna see the city, I'll take you around. Hop on in my baby blue sedan, but don't get jealous of my hundreds of fans. I'll show you the sights and all the bright lights. You say, Elvis, take the wheel. Elvis, take the wheel. Elvis, $2 Elvis, take the wheel.
All you gotta do, baby, is go to www.2elvis.com. Select your date, put down that deposit, and you got a date with me, the King.
Elvis, $2 Elvis, take the wheel.
Slaughterhouse. By the time we realize where we are, it's too late to get out. And all the kicking and biting and scratching won't do it. And all the endlessly hoping and praying won't do it. It's the same God there never was. It's the same God there never was. Swimming from Alcatraz. By the time we realize we can't swim that far, it's too far to swim back. And all the kicking and biting and scratching won't do it. And all the endlessly hoping and praying won't do it. you'd save my soul, but it feels terrible. I believed it from the start, and I played my part. I still can't speak in tongues, neither can anyone. I answered the call, and I stood up and I took the fall. Now I'm down on my knees, just a screaming at the wall. The same God there never was. It's the same God there never was. It's the same God there never was. It's the same God there never was.
Alrighty, folks, with me on the Zoom, I got the one and only Brook Blanch from Brook
Hey.
Blanch and the Calamity Keys. Hey, buddy, how are you doing?
What's up, man? How are you?
Not too bad. Where you at these days?
Oh, I'm in Wichita, Kansas. You know,
Back in
center of
Wichita?
the universe.
I thought you were in Texas for a minute. That's why I asked. I thought when you're filming some stuff from Texas not too long ago.
I may have. I mean, I've been in Texas for a while, but that was always just down at Urban Pioneers Ranch down there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Jared and Liz. But I
Yeah.
just go down there. I go down there every now and then to just hunt, or you know, they had like 50 windows break one time in a hailstorm, so I went down and helped glaze with some windows. You know,
Yeah, I remember that, man. Those guys are great. I got Jared on here all the time. He's got like a new obsession for duck hunting now.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's in. He's all in.
Yeah, their kid, that Maybell, she's a cutie too. I think she was kind of the highlight of a lot of people's Facebook pages during the pandemic.
Yeah, I'm definitely one of those people who's like, all right, what's Maybell up to today? It's the only thing changing in the world.
Yeah,
You know?
and positively, you know, like
Right.
the only thing that was positive is seeing her, because like just watching her not know that there's a pandemic going on, and you know, didn't affect her at all, you know, and
Yeah,
so
it was awesome.
but yeah, watching her grow up's been really cool. So what have you been up to, man? You mentioned earlier when we were talking, you got a new album in the works.
Yeah, I got just got to get through the final mix, which I'm not quite settled on. We're gonna do another round of mixing, probably, and get it mastered. Then, however long vinyl takes, which could be another year, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, vinyl takes forever, especially right now with all the vinyl shortages and shit.
well, once Walmart started making albums again, it changed how many record plants were available.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, all these assholes that want to print these need to make their own vinyl printing. The people that can afford to, you know, need to start manufacturing the shit again on their own instead of using mom and pop shops.
Yeah, it's some impressive, costly machinery, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah. Well, on a good note, it's kind of like made the price of vinyl go down some. You know, I remember it used to be just so expensive you couldn't afford to get it. Now it's kind of fucking reasonable again, you know. Just takes a while.
I don't know. I haven't really dug into it too much.
Are you on a label then?
No.
No.
Okay. That's never really done anybody any good, as far as I know.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can't have a label dispute if you're not with the label, and that's like, you know.
Yeah, I thought maybe you were because you're talking about doing vinyl, and then you said you didn't know what the cost was or anything. So I thought maybe you'd had somebody else taking care of that shit for you.
Nope, just me not taking care of it for me yet. And the prices change, and the time limit changes. So until I have a product, there's really no
Yeah.
use courting it too much.
Then the shipping ends up costing a shit ton. Like Rachel Brooks said, she drove 4 hours to pick hers up because it was way cheaper than having them mailed.
I
Yeah.
believe that. Well, my solo album got released. My first one got released on a label in Europe, and they printed a bunch of vinyl. But like, that's €5 a piece to me plus shipping. You know, they sent me the first 100 or whatever. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so just to get my records in the United States is hard. You know, it's costly right off the bat. You know, so selling them for $20 or $25 shipped isn't doing me any favors, really.
Yeah,
You know,
it's probably not much of a profit margin, huh?
right.
Understand that, dude. As a guy that tried to run a label, you know, it's tough, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing, as always, anything you write, man. You're beautiful songwriter, beautiful voice, man. Probably one of my favorites out there, man.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man, no problem. Yeah, dude. So how are you feeling about it? Who'd you record this with?
I went out to California, Oakdale, California. Recorded there in Central Valley, California. Just a dude studio, just sort of a house studio thing. Some local old time country musicians, notably Jim Lewin from he's played with a bunch of bands. Great American Taxi. He's played with some bands. He's a great guitar player. Pedal steel player, drummer. I had a couple young dudes, Alec LaRoche playing upright bass with me, and a good fiddle player out there. You know, just some sort of dudes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, sometimes that's the best.
There, my buddy Ono Stewart was the prompt of all that. He's a great dude, great guy. He's been real supportive of me and got me out there. I was out there for several weeks, you know, just living with his family, hanging out, picking up some shows when I could, sort of enjoying California, the nice weather and everything, you know, I mean, just California. So just chilling. And then recorded that record in, 6 hours. So
In 6 hours?
yeah. So
For some reason, that doesn't surprise me about you.
Well, it was a lot of work beforehand, but then, 6 hours.
Did you guys record it live?
Yeah, we were all in, all this one big room, all mic'd up and everything, but kind of a little deader sound of a room than I would have liked, but probably is a lot more beneficial when it comes to mixing because there's not anything really overlapping too much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sometimes
there's enough of it so that there's that warmth to it, but it would have been a nightmare to edit. Either you get it right and that's it.
Well, that's old school recording, man. That's old school fucking recording,
Yeah.
I like that because you guys, like, back in the day, they didn't have fucking Pro Tools, that's how they did it. There's rarely any punch-ins or any of that bullshit, so I'm looking forward to hearing it, man. Is it all new shit or is it some stuff you're revisiting?
It's all new.
All new?
Yeah. I've thought about redoing some songs, but I don't need to yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what I could really add to anything other than I just playing some of the old songs a little bit different, but nothing revolutionary.
I got you. What are you drinking?
Let's see. Well, I was out of bourbon, so I'm drinking Nighthawk Black Lush Pinot, right?
Ooh la la.
With some blueberry and pomegranate sparkling water.
I believe that has caffeine in it too. That sparkling water, that particular brand.
Really?
Yeah.
I hope not.
You really? Are you sensitive to caffeine?
I do drink iced tea. Here's my other drink.
I was saying, of all the shit you probably put in your body over the years, you're sensitive to caffeine.
I am. I had one specific moment when I was living in Lawrence. Walked down the coffee shop, got what I normally get. Back to the house, was smoking some grass and drinking coffee, and then it was like, close the blinds. Then like kept smoking and drinking, and like turned the lights off, and was like breathing weird, and I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? And I was like,
Yeah.
I either gotta quit caffeine or I gotta quit smoking weed.
Dude,
And I
it's
just
probably a mix, dude. I found that same shit. Mixing the
put
two
down
of
my
them.
coffee, and I didn't do caffeine for like 15 years. Just recently, I've been drinking some iced tea.
Really?
Yeah, it was basically instant anxiety attack.
Well, it happens, man. My aunt's got the same issue. And I actually found out I have issues with caffeine when you stayed at my house that one time. Remember when I had to fucking piece out of the fucking trailer at 4 a.m. because I was passing fucking kidney stones after your show?
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
people
fun.
learn a lot about themselves when I stay at their house. It's crazy.
I don't know, man. It was all right. You were hammered, but whatever.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Doesn't matter to me. Yeah. That's Billy was in the band then too. That was a cool show.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it was kind of bittersweet because everybody's worried about Cody. Cody got sick the night before that. So
Yeah, that sort of happened with some frequency.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So it was kind of bittersweet, but you guys put on a really good show. Fuck, that was fun.
Thanks.
Yeah, buddy. Speaking of shows, what do you got coming up lately? What do you got coming up?
Well, I've been trying to be a little more active going to shows because I don't really like going to shows, to be honest.
I'm the same way, man. COVID did that to me. Was that what happened to you?
No, I just never really have.
Really?
It just feels weird. I feel like I should be at home working on a song,
Yeah.
you know, and so it's hard for me to enjoy the show. Like, it ends up just being too hypercritical of myself when I watch people. You know what I mean? I'm trying to loosen that up. I'm gonna go watch Scott Byron tonight.
Yeah, well, that'll make anybody hyper criticism of themselves. So that's the ultimate test. Yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah, I'm gonna struggle through that, and yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Fuck.
But I got some local shows coming up. I've I put together a band with some pretty good players. There's a guy in town, Michael Peltzer. He's a real hot shit guitar player. He's pretty fun. When I can, I have Jared come up from Texas, and he'll play bass with me. And then Bryce Abood, the drummer from Carrie Nation and Speakeasy. It's a fun little country band.
Cool, man.
Liz, when she can have someone watch the baby and get up there and play some fiddle. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, right on, man. So I don't know. How did the pandemic treat you? I always like to kind of ask that. How'd you spend your time?
I think it was pretty obvious with my posts online. Like I was saying, I had to do some therapy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which was probably a long time coming, but had nothing but time to do it. So that was probably the most productive thing I actually did was that. Just trying to figure some shit out about myself and behaviors and, all that sort of thing. It was interesting. I can't afford it. So,
yeah, that was where I ducked out on it, really.
Yep. You kind of do what you can do. And then it's like, man, I can't pay my fucking phone bill right now. Like, I can't, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and no sending money to the doctor.
Yeah. No shit. Even with health insurance, it still costs too much money for me,
Yeah. Yeah. I got another visit Monday. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Like a doctor's appointment or like a therapy appointment?
Doctor's
Oh,
appointment.
we're getting at that age, buddy.
Yeah, no.
I got a knee
know.
replacement on Tuesday. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Ugh.
Just an ACL, thank God. It's not like a whole knee replacement, but they're putting a new ACL in my left knee. So
Where are they getting that from?
a cadaver.
Cool.
Yeah, so at
It
least
was either a hog or a cadaver, you know what I mean?
yeah, well a lot of times they'll take it from another tendon on your body, so that like double times you're rehabbing. And I was like, fuck, I'm getting old, man. Just take one from a dead person. I don't want to rehab two things, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I've been working on trying to get in shape and shit anyways. And it's been one thing after another. And I blow my fucking ACL out in a car wreck. I would have been like kind of proud if I would have done it in the gym, but no, I fucking did it.
Dunking on somebody.
Yeah. Dunking on somebody. I don't know if I'll ever dunk on somebody, but I wanted
Well,
to.
you never know.
When I was young.
This new ACL, who knows?
Yeah. Did you play basketball growing up? I know you said you were watching basketball before we got on. Did you ever play growing up? I did.
Oh, yeah, I definitely did. Yeah.
I love basketball, man. That was my favorite sport.
Yeah, I loved it. I played football, basketball, and tennis in high school.
Yeah.
Well, junior and senior year was always rehabbing surgeries from football season. You know what I mean?
Shit.
Yeah. I played. I played 4 games a week as a freshman. I played freshman, sophomore, JV, and varsity. I played every game that was possible for me to play in the 4 years I was there, which is like 110 football games or something like that in 4 years.
Jesus.
It was
This is insane.
It was sort of a lot.
Yeah, no wonder you needed surgery. Like, was it from actually getting injured or just the wear and tear on your fucking body?
Yeah, I tore my ligament twice in my shoulder. So yeah, trying to catch someone running by. You know what I mean? Out of position.
Yeah.
Out of position.
Yeah, I played a little football. I kind of got out of it pretty quick. By like junior high, I was pretty much done with football.
Yeah, I would highly recommend no one play football.
Yeah, it's a tough fucking sport, man. It's a tough ass sport.
It was fun. You learn a lot about yourself and your limits and shit. But it's also like, damn, you shouldn't have to be pushing your body to its limits.
Not in high school, Jesus Christ,
you know what I mean? Like,
you're ruining your body before, like, when it should be at its peak. You know,
right.
Like, you're basically fucking yourself in the future. You know, and
right. Yeah, I'm interested to see how my brain deteriorates over time as I get a little bit older. You know? So,
yeah.
Because at 14, playing against 18-year-olds once a week, and you know.
Yeah, because you're probably always big, huh?
Yeah. Thinner, but big. Yeah.
Weren't we all?
Yeah. You know. Yeah.
I remember my metabolism shit out like at 30 exactly. It was like that was when I had to couldn't eat anything without gaining weight anymore. So,
fair. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's why I tell all my nephews, all my my kid, everybody. I'm like, at 30, start watching it. Like maybe around 28, keep an eye on it because your life will be a lot easier because fucking I got like type 2 diabetes now that I'm working on and all kinds of shit, so
it's way easier to gain it.
Yeah.
Way easier. More enjoyable.
Oh yeah, man. And I love going to the gym, but God, it pisses me off when I'm doing 2-hour workouts a day and fucking losing a pound a week, it's
right.
But it's, I always think to myself, fuck, I wish I would have started this in my 20s because it would have been great therapy. It would have got me through a lot of shit and I wouldn't have to worry about what I eat now and all that other shit, I'd be in good shape now if I would have just started a little earlier, but now it's an uphill battle. But it is what it is. I just got to kind of with it. I kind of just got to put aside fuck it. I'm almost 40. I'm probably going to look as good as I ever am going to anyway. So it's not about looks, it's all about how you feel up in your head and how you feel in your body, So
okay.
Focus on how you feel and not on how you look,
Yeah, I guess.
Yes.
We can't count on either one of those very much.
Yeah, I don't know. It helps me work my shit out, man. When I don't go, I feel like shit now, So
Yeah.
that's one of my concerns about the surgery is like it's been really a real big help for me mentally. So like gonna be being laid up for a while after utilizing that as like a coping skill for so long. Yeah, I'm just worried about being wiped the fuck out,
Right. Right.
But
Yeah, surgery is a lot, man.
yeah, it
It's a
sounds
lot.
like you've been through a couple of them, man.
Yeah. It's a lot of trauma on the body.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't like being unconscious and being able to talk about shit.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear is I've never been under anesthesia this heavy before. The
Here's a
last
fun
time,
trick.
huh?
Well, go ahead.
The last time I don't think I was under technical anesthesia, but they gave me this shit. And like they were doing an upper scope on me to check out my ulcers. And I fucking popped up in the middle of it while they had this hose down my throat. It's like the Undertaker, man. I was fucking, the doctor's like, oh shit. He's like cussing, like, sorry, man. We'll get you some more. Just relax. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well,
I put myself in I've worried about, I've seen enough videos about what people say when they're under,
mm-hmm. Oh, videos. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about too, man.
But somehow I've put in my head, like, the worst possible things you could ever say. Like, I will probably admit to being, like, a serial killer or, like, just, I have all this stuff in my head of, like, please don't say anything like that you don't actually fucking mean. Please don't do that. Please don't flirt with the nurse. Don't, like, I don't care how cute he is. None of it. Like, none of it. Like,
how long are you in that state of mind before you fades out usually? Do you know?
Well, it's usually the coming out of it.
Oh, is it?
Right. So your body's already in trauma because it just got fucking cut open and dug through. So you're already in this weird space in pain and then talking about shit. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I told my mom a lot of secrets last time I had a surgery.
Really?
She was there like, interesting. Like, went home, found my stash, found my stuff, like, just walked to it like she knew where it was. You know what I mean? It's like, God damn it. Truth serum. I don't need any of that shit.
Yeah, that's my fear. I have to have my cousin take my phone so I don't call anybody.
Right.
I trust her with my secrets, but fucking A, man. Like, here, take my phone and don't give this back to me until I'm fucking like normal,
Yeah, you could have like a no filming clause, the whole thing.
Yeah. Fuck. So you just usually right when you come out?
I mean, that's how I experience it. Going under, you don't even notice anything. You're just there, and then you're like, oh, when you wake up. But the waking up is a little slower,
Yeah.
Because you go to sleep and they're still pumping drugs in you. So you're getting, deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. You know what I mean? And then the coming out slow,
Yeah.
And then you got to deal with all the effects of that shit,
Yeah. I heard it makes you kind of sick.
Yeah. Are you just getting, oh, well, no, you're not getting scoped. You're getting a new fucking ligament. That's a bigger deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
Yeah. I guess I'll see. I'll find out. Yeah. You got one of those little dugouts, huh? Those are cool. I used to have some of those.
It's efficient. So, kind of always smoking grass. Never really getting blitzed, but also not just holding the joint while it's burning.
I was gonna say I'm like a weed snob too. I like green hits. I don't like taking dirty ass fucking burn ass hits all the time.
Yeah. Yep. There's a couple hits, pretty good.
Yeah, and then I just
I got
dump
a
it.
knife to clear it out. I got guitar strings to run through it. You know,
Absolutely.
the whole setup.
Absolutely. Yeah. Usually I don't have one of those anymore, but now I just like put a little tiny bit in my pipe. And then
Yeah.
it doesn't take much for me anymore. I feel like I don't know, like these kids these days are spoiled with all their weed, man. Like,
It's ridiculous.
yeah. It's some of it's a little too tough for me. Like I gotta be careful about what I smoke.
Yeah, the edibles are trickier than smoking.
Oh fucking A.
I can smoke whatever, but
Edibles.
those edibles, they're unpredictable. I don't care what you can say, however milligrams or whatever is in. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you might get one of those pockets, that it mixed up all equal.
Yeah.
You have to mix that.
Technically, on average, there should be this much, but
Yeah,
you don't
but-
know. It's just in this actual piece.
Yeah, exactly. For sure.
Yeah,
Dabbing's another thing I can't wrap my head around. Like it's like
it's too much of a process. Like Jesus
Exactly.
Christ. Like it just looks like you're doing hard drugs. And I don't like that vibe.
yeah.
Like, oh, we're just sparking the torch again. Like, honestly, I'm gonna go the fuck outside and just smoke a joint. Like, I can't do it.
Yeah, that's me too.
I mean, trust me, I've had plenty of dabs, and if someone offered me one right now, I would probably do it. But the overall feeling is just it's not how the drug makes me feel, it's the process of doing it that just feels gross.
yeah.
Like, I've been in Carney hotel rooms and we're smoking crack and shit, and it's got that vibe. Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot you were a Carney, man, because the first time I ever met you, I don't know if you remember this or not. I was selling merch for Bob Wayne. You came to a show, I think we were in Kansas City, and you came to a show and you were all, I want to know which one of you motherfuckers are the real Carney
I
here.
remember that.
Because I'm a real Carney. And
I remember that. Which one of you? Anybody?
Wouldn't let up on it, man. Oh, it's like, what the fuck is with this guy?
Hilarious. I still think it's hilarious.
And it's funny shit. Yeah, and I remember being like, what the fuck's with this dude, man?
Whatever. Me and Bob wrote a song for his record, so we're fine.
I know. I was actually the night that you guys wrote that, I was parked in front of his camper at Muddy Roots sleeping, and I was like listening to you guys write it. It was fucking rad because your voice was just echoing through the fucking.
Yeah. I like that valley, man. I like that spot.
Yeah, dude, that's a cool fucking place, man. I've only been once, but I almost don't want to go again just because that time was so special. I don't think, and it's changed so much, man.
How can you say that if you've only been once?
Well, just the bands, I feel like it's just gotten, I don't know. I'd go again probably, but it's so far away from me,
There's less music in the style that was sort of founded on. I feel like it was sort of a certain style of band that was first playing there.
Yeah.
But it's not really a popular style of music really anymore either. So
that's a fair,
you can really sustain a festival with that.
Yeah.
Because
got to evolve with the times.
Yeah. I mean, you get a bunch of acoustic instruments out, people just immediately start rolling their eyes.
And there's a reason for that. It got really oversaturated.
Yeah. Because it's easy. It's too easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy enough to do it. To be good at it, I think is, a thing that a few bands did, but it's,
Well, I mean, when it first started, man, there was just a small pocket of people, and they're all really good and special. You had like the 357 string band, Calamity Cubes, High Lonesome. There's a lot of them that were kind of doing
and you guys don't even know about Split Lip.
Oh no,
Split
I know about Split Lip. That kind of
No,
started it all, but it was before my time. But I know about Split Lip.
Sort of before my time, but also Scroat Belly was another band that was fucking badass here. Like Wichita's got a long tradition of really fast acoustic music.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Like, the International Bluegrass Festival is right down the road.
Mhm.
And I don't know, there's just a sort of punk rock working class aesthetic to this town. A lot of airplane industry people and
I've always really loved Wichita, man. It was always one of my favorite towns to play in, man. I played the Lizard Lounge when it first, or when Cooper had it after
Kenny.
Kenny. Yeah, after Kenny sold it, Cooper had it for a minute, and I met you actually the next day. That was the first time I was formally introduced to you. We stayed someplace with Joey. Took us someplace. Me and Owen. I can't remember where, but you ended up coming over, and you're all. I remember this line. You're all like, "You want a beer?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm driving to Texas." And you're like, "If you're going to Texas, it sounds like you should have a beer."
Sounds accurate. Sounds accurate.
But anyways, Owen was telling this story about how he was fucking with people in the van while he was sleeping outside, and I remember you laughing your ass off, thinking that was hilarious.
I miss that dude.
I do too, man. Fucking, he's a good man.
Yeah.
Fun to be around.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of that, man. And speaking of dudes, man, Kenny, dude, fucking that broke my fucking heart too, man.
Yeah. That sucked.
Doing what we do, you just meet so many people, man, that death becomes real regular, and it sucks because
yeah,
I guess
that's the trade-off, right? You can have all these beautiful friendships, but you also you're just gonna know so many more people that are dying. And there's times where it's like there's been weeks where it's like, dude, this is like fucking 7 people. Like I cannot do it anymore. Like next week, no one better die.
Yeah,
sometimes,
man.
sometimes you go for a few weeks and it's nobody, but sometimes y'all hit it at once and it's just like, this is unfair. This doesn't, you would talk about healthcare. How much of this would happen if we actually had decent fucking healthcare? You know what I mean?
And then even the trade off on that, is even like proper. We just both were talking about how we can't afford therapy.
Right.
How many motherfuckers do we know that fucking put a gun to their head or fucking took too many drugs? I mean, therapy probably could have helped those fucking guys immensely.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, it goes hand in hand. It's tough. I mean, like I said, it's a trade off of what we do and meeting so many people. It's heartbreaking, especially when you get to another family. Like
right.
Dara and him just had that baby.
Right.
And that sucks because Kenny's such a great guy. He would have made. And he was a great father for the short amount of time he got to be one. But he should have been able to watch that baby grow up and go to his games.
It sucks because it's a lot of my friends die, and it's like you can kind of be mad at them because they fucked up. You know what I mean? But he got hit on his motorcycle.
Mm-hmm. After he worked his ass off from just scratching to get where he was at, it was so fucking great to see Kenny fucking go up the ladder.
Buying venues and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and he was like the person that you look at him and you look at his past and you look at everything about him, and the deck was stacked against him. Like, people didn't want a guy like him to have those venues just because of the fact that he's rough around the edges,
Right.
But he beat the fucking odds. He beat everything, and he broke the mold and broke the wall down and fucking did what he wanted to do, man. And that's
right.
He worked his ass off to get there, and it's sad, man.
The music scene is lacking and misses him, now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bands that just aren't gonna come through. You know what I mean?
Well, and one of my biggest regrets too is last time I went on a big tour out to Moonrunners, we skipped Wichita, and it was just like too far out. It was like a 10-hour drive, and
right.
I just fucking wish if I would have known, I would have made the 10-hour drive to just go play Wichita because in your head, you're always like, oh, we'll hit it next time, because.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, because it's just a revolving list of fucking cities. Missing one doesn't seem like a big deal until something like that. And you're like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
We could have done that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a sad one, man. That one hit me pretty tough. That was probably the last real hard one for me was Kenny. And he just helped everybody. So many people, dude. He didn't have like a standard of how good you had to be or what your draw was, like
Right.
if you were cool, he would fucking hook you up and you're always
if he liked your stuff, you could play. That's it.
Yeah, and you never walk away empty-handed with Kenny ever.
Right.
Like you always get a couple bucks at least and
out of his pocket.
Yep.
Not because you made the bar money.
Yeah, no, fucking that's it too, man.
I know you didn't make any money. You paid the door guy, you paid one or two bartenders, like fuck.
Yeah. Yep.
But you still get your $50 or whatever,
Yeah.
So Elbow Room was a 5-minute drive from here. He'd call me if there's just an open spot. Hey, like you want to come down and play real quick? Like the opener's late or not going to be here. Like fuck yeah, $50 and some free drinks. They'll be right there. Like,
yeah.
What I mean?
Yeah, Kenny. Oh, weren't you gonna do something? And he was starting a label too. You were gonna do something with his label, weren't you?
Yeah, Fine Swine.
That's right.
It didn't
pan out.
Well, I mean, that's just I don't know how to explain that. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Like,
because it's still around. They're still doing something, right? So somebody took it over.
Well, the guy that he started with had the studio. And that's where I was going to record. Then I think that studio shut down. Now I'm not sure what exactly the situation is. Now there's a bunch of money floating out there for me to record a record. And instead I flew out to California for 6 weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
sounds like a Brook Blanch thing to do. In the best way possible, though.
I like some sunshine.
In the best way possible. I mean that, though.
I don't even know what it means. So I don't know how else to take it. So I'm a real positive person now. So I'll just take it and say it like it's good.
Yeah, I hope so. So what else is new, buddy?
Nothing. I don't do much.
Same old Brook. Huh?
I feel like it's Leonard Cohen that says like inspiration is for amateurs. The rest of us get up and go to work every day. So I try to get up and make my bed and sit at my desk and maybe strum a guitar a little bit, maybe write a notebook, maybe just watch a fucking movie. But I'm in the space to write. I'm always present in that zone. That's all my life really is. I'm not gonna leave a lot of legacy, but maybe a couple of songs will sneak through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I don't know about that. I think guys like Townes Van Zandt probably didn't think he'd leave much of a legacy, and he probably, most of his legacy probably came after he passed, but,
right.
That you're,
people
definitely have your place in songwriting, at least for guys like me,
Well, until the tattoos fade, you know what
I mean? That's a good way to put it, man. For sure. But yeah, I mean, I don't know anybody who's ever seen you live. You're kind of a special breed of singer, man. Like I love watching you guys get pissed off at a sound check and just like not fucking use the sound system. That's one of my favorite things to.
Well, it's acoustic. It's acoustic music. You can get away with that.
Yeah.
Fuck a mic.
Mm-hmm. Especially with your voice, dude. And well, Joey's got a fucking voice too that carries when you guys used to do that as the cubes,
Sure.
You guys are just fucking. You didn't need the mics. You know, it's great.
Yeah, the mic is nice though.
It is.
It's a pretty handy crutch.
Yeah, especially fucking when you're touring, because you don't want to do that shit every fucking night because you fucking end up blowing your goddamn voice out.
Right. Sometimes you don't want to get on some of those bar mics. We were giving Soda Gardocki a hard time one time because he's always setting up a mic. We were on a little run with him. It's like, man, oh, Pretty Boy Soda's got to have his own little microphone. He's like, man, you boys realize we still play places that G.G. Allen played. It's like, damn it.
It's probably got the same mics too.
I need a different mic. I need a mic.
Yeah,
I don't care if that was up some dude's ass 25 years ago. I still would like a different mic.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know. I don't think about it, but at the same time, like I get why people don't use them. You know, for sure.
And they're crusty.
Mm-hmm. Dude, they smell bad. They smell like everybody's breath all put together, man. Like,
yeah.
And I just chew on them, man. Like I get them right in my fucking face.
Yep.
Like a little security blanket for me, man. And that mic just right there in your face.
Right. Yeah, I'm a lot more handsome if I have a microphone right around here.
Me too, buddy.
Bring the hat down, get on the mic. That looks pretty good. The right light. You know?
I don't know, man. Like being around all the ladies that always talk about how handsome you were back in the day, man.
Yeah, now and they talk about how handsome I was back in the day.
What was that thing you just said? Just like old tattoos fade or something like
yeah.
fade like their looks.
Until the tattoos fade, you know.
That's all right, buddy. You'll own it. You don't need to look good. You sound good.
Well, I'll take it.
I don't think you look too bad, though.
Okay.
Start calling you Bad Brook.
You got my number, girl. That's all right.
Yeah, fucking. I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, shit, dude. Is there anything else you want to add on here?
I want to ask you a question that I posted yesterday.
I would love to answer it.
Which 90s band, if it came out now, would be relevant?
I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of them.
If they didn't come out in the 90s, just like right now, one of the bands from the 90s popped, what would matter?
That's funny, man, because like I was almost about to say I think a lot of them would matter, but you're right, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like a band like Nirvana would be super overlooked, you know, or a band like Alice in Chains.
Right. I got some Blind Melon.
I love Blind Melon.
Comments.
I don't think they would.
I got a lot of Rage Against the Machine comments, which
Rage
I do think it would work.
I think Rage would, yeah. I don't think Blind Melon would. I think, and I'm a huge Blind Melon fan. Right?
I am not.
You're not?
And they were talking about the second album, Soup.
Yeah.
Which I do like more. I listened to it because I listened to everything that people said, even though someone said Smash Mouth. It's like, well, I got to take this into consideration. Let me listen to some Smash Mouth. And it's like, no, I don't think so.
Well, they might be onto something though. I mean, like, because
there's some Harvey Danger. That's some Harvey Danger.
Yeah, I've only heard that one song.
I think anything that's rock and roll would work. There's a Fastball comment, which is that's sort of, they'd basically be a country band now.
Yeah, it's funny. Like my neighbor used to run a recording studio at Austin called Hotbox Studio. And he recorded a Fastball's first album, the one before they got famous.
Nice.
He recorded a Byram album too, actually. Or Sweatbox,
really?
Not Hotbox. It's called Sweatbox Studio out of Austin.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think he recorded Preaching and Hollering. But
you know, did you hear me? Hotbox is a strip club.
Oh, yeah, probably. Sweatbox probably too.
There's a strip club in Wisconsin called the Box Office.
Oh, really?
I don't go to strip clubs, but I mean, whatever. but I do notice their names. There's some pretty good ones.
When I was in my early 20s, I was big on strip clubs. We used to go fucking all the time, and there was one in Eugene, Oregon called The Office. So you could tell people like, their wife was at The Office, you know.
It's a common bar name for sure. There is an office here in Wichita. There is an office in Kansas City. The library is one. You know, going to the library.
Yeah,
and it is. There was, strip club names.
So what kind of music from the 90s do you dig, man? Like, because 90s music sometimes is really cliche to a lot of musicians I know around our scene. You know, a lot of them kind of turn their head up to grunge and shit like that because a lot of them are kind of 80s kids, you know. Were you into any 90s music? Because that was like kind of my jam, really.
90s was definitely more my jam. I grew up in a sort of strict household, Christian household, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Much stricter when I was younger, you know, but like first time I heard Nirvana and Primus was on a cassette tape that Neil Chatterton gave me at St. Paul Lutheran School. I was in like 6th or 7th grade, right?
Yeah.
I had to go sneak it up in the attic on a little one speaker, you know, like listen to the cassette tape of this fucking band. And it was like the coolest way to discover that music. But that was right around the time when my parents like opened up their record collection. Like we got a good record player and like all of a sudden their records started coming out. And it's like, you know, so I was definitely had my into the 60s music phase, you know what I mean? Like where 60s music was the coolest shit. But that was sort of adjacent to 90s pop music, you know, rock and pop and, you know,
Yeah.
grunge was cool, but like we were poor. I wasn't buying a bunch of records, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
So I liked Nirvana as much as I liked Randy Travis.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, that was a lot of that's cool because that's kind of what I was brought up on too, being from like the country, and we didn't have like you know.
had to listen to Q104 every night because it's the top 4 at 10 on Q104, and you got to be able to talk at lunch tomorrow about what the 4 top songs were, and it's gonna be John Deere Green, which is a classic banger. Like
it's a banger.
You know what I mean? There's definitely some overlap of all that country music and anything on the radio, man. When the radio was a fucking joyland of stuff.
Yeah, we didn't even have MTV out here.
And I was in Leavenworth, so we get the Lawrence station for the Kansas University, KJHK. We could get their radio station, which was the first time I heard Fastball was when they were playing a little club in Lawrence. They did a radio interview before their show. And that was the first time I heard any of that, probably that first record that you're talking about, which was 2 years before they ever had a hit. You know what I mean? I love the radio.
Yeah, we didn't even get really good radio out here. I listened to a lot of VH1, man. And whatever my cousin would bring to me, because she would go to her grandparents' house in a different town, watch MTV, and then buy that.
We were in no cable. We didn't really watch TV much. We got 1 hour a day.
Well, we didn't even have MTV out here. We just got VH1, you know. I feel like everything here was like 2 years behind everywhere else.
Right.
Because we'd have people move here and they'd be like, what's your favorite music? And we'd be like, oh, we're listening to this. And they're like, what? Like that was like cool like 2 years ago. Like it's so weird, you know?
Yep. Yeah, they're wearing some band shirt. Like, what is that? They're like, what? They're on the cover of Rolling Stone. What the fuck are you talking about? Like,
yeah.
Haven't heard them yet.
Yes, I mean, we heard a lot of the newer country, I think, you know, but that was it, you know, because we actually get radio stations for the newer country, and that's all anybody really wanted to listen to.
I remember being so disappointed with country music when I was growing up. What a hack job they were doing. And now it's like, well, honestly, they were pretty much nailing it. That was way better than anything happening now. Not anything happening now. That's a really broad statement. I don't mean that. There's been recently, I feel like, some really solid country music around lately. A lot of really good women songwriters making a move, which is awesome. And about time.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of that, it's been really exciting to see all of them. You know, it's really great.
I'll tell you, my favorite person to be watching lately is Miss Rachel Brook.
She's a badass. Undisputed.
Undisputed, underappreciated, but finally getting a little bit of recognition, I think, you know. And,
right. Once again, what label are you on? What good did it really do her? You know what I mean? Seems like it was more of a hassle. I don't mean to speak for her, and you know, I could be wrong. That whole thing seemed like it turned into a fucking shit show.
What label was she on?
Bloodshot.
Rachel Brook was?
Yeah, absolutely.
Huh. Yeah, the ending of that really seemed to be.
I mean, I'm almost certain that she was.
Really? Yeah, I know Sarah Shook was. She's great too.
Yep.
But yeah, the ending of Bloodshot really did not seem like a good one. That's for sure.
Pretty gross. Pretty gross. Anytime there's just, it's pretty gross.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a shame too, because a lot of good shit came off that. And
yep.
When something becomes pretty gross, the good shit that came off of it tends to get overlooked, you know?
Yep. Right. Then you're connected to the one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, connected to Bloodshot. Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but as a female coming from that situation, it seems like you'd have other questions you'd have to answer that are inappropriate and unfair also.
Yeah, exactly, man.
You know what I mean? Like, just like every time I, see a Weinstein film and it's like, shit, how'd she get that role? God damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
You know, like that's also a reality. Not saying that was the deal with Bloodshot, but it was, from what I read, it was sort of, well, whatever, sexual accusations. Not necessarily about having to get on the label that way, but
yeah,
the work environment in general, business practice. From what I've read and understand, which is limited.
Yeah, and then it's limited. That's exactly it. It's like it's hard to say what's real and what's not anymore. I tend to, I definitely don't want to say anybody's accusations are false. That's for sure.
Right.
But I tend to want to hear the stories before I make a decision on what I go with as far as how I feel about the thing,
Sure. I mean, what's this deal with Deshaun Watson? 22 allegations, and he just signed a $172 million fucking contract because he can throw a football?
Yeah. That's the kind of shit we need to stop.
What are you fucking talking about? That guy just got a better job. They got him out of Texas and a better job. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but that Colin Kaepernick or whatever his name is, he can't play football anymore because he fucking kneeled for the national anthem. It's a bunch of shit.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's insane.
I'm related to the racist dude that wrote the national anthem.
Really?
Yeah, they were like 13th cousins or something like that.
Huh.
My dad has it all documented. But yeah, I mean, the other verses that we don't sing, they're kind of racist.
Huh.
I mean, they're racist. If you look up the full words to the national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, it's not great.
Huh, I'm gonna have to do that. I never looked into it that far.
Look it up.
To me, it seems like it's a ridiculous thing to be upset about, in my opinion. Like, I've kind of grown the older I get to, like, I don't really like consider myself an American. I consider myself a human,
Right. Right.
I think
It was
just
different when I was a kid. It was much different when I was a kid.
well, yeah, and I think the mentality of the world was much different, and the mentality of America was a little different, I guess. You know,
Well, we were in a Cold War. We were, there's a lot. It was us
so
against them. I mean, it was fucking Red Dawn, man. You know,
Wolverines.
like that's what it was.
But the older I get, the more I just look at this shit as like Texas high school football mentality, like where we're better than you. No, we're better than you. But like at the end of the day, like why is it important?
Right.
It's like I sympathize with humanity, and I don't feel like America's any better than anybody else, in my opinion, and that whole mentality needs to stop.
Well, if I learned anything from the Muppets Take Manhattan, it's that people's is people's. People's is people's is people's, right?
Is that it's been so that's funny.
What? You're not
It's been so long since I've watched Muppets, dude. I used to watch all those movies, man, but I don't remember that part.
Take Manhattan.
Which one are you? Which Muppet are you quoting, though?
It's Muppets Take Manhattan. It's the owner of the restaurant where they all hang out.
Oh,
he's the guy who hired the rats to cook and everything. He's like, yeah, people's people's.
Nice. That's a good quote, man.
I remember that from the first time I ever heard it. It was like, huh. Yep. Okay. I know it's supposed to be absurd, but it's also there's a lot about the Muppets that's supposed to be absurd that's actually pretty important.
Well, fucking Jim Henson, man, didn't he?
What a beautiful soul, man. What a beautiful, beautiful soul. Him and Frank Oz both,
Yeah. Raised us all.
I mean, what would we do without Emmett Otter's Christmas special? Like, do you know that one?
Yeah. A big one for me was Follow That Bird when I was a kid. You remember this first Sesame Street movie where
they went to China?
No, Big Bird gets adopted by a bird family and then hates it. And then he has to travel across country back to Sesame Street. He runs away.
Oh, right.
And Waylon Jennings picks him up in a
nice.
Yeah, and they do a duet.
I did not remember that.
Dude, that's a classic.
I feel like I remember Big Bird hitchhiking, but I do not remember the Waylon part.
Yeah, Waylon picked him up and they sang a duet together. And it took me till I was about 21 to realize it was Waylon. And I was like, holy shit, like this is awesome. Right.
Yeah, I doubt I picked up on that in my initial watching.
Just if you get bored sometime, just YouTube it, like Big Bird and Waylon.
Yeah, I will. I look forward to it.
It's a killer song, actually. It's a really good song. But I might be biased because I really liked it when I was little.
Yeah. It's got to be on a record somewhere.
Probably. It's probably on a vinyl someplace. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's just scratched to shit with like crayon rubbed into the grooves and like snot. Just wrecked.
I was gonna say something else. I forgot.
It's your job.
I know it's my job, buddy. I'm glad that you took over a little bit though, because that's how it's supposed to work. Sometimes I run out of shit to say, and I hope you guys keep talking.
That bloodshot rant was all just out of my ass, but whatever.
Yeah, man, that's what this is about. It's not about I don't know. I don't like formats or scripts or things, I like to shoot from the hip and get what's organic and not be like, so Brooke, it says here that you were raised in this town. Tell me about this,
I was raised in the first city in Kansas, Leavenworth, Kansas, out on a dead end hill in a house my parents built. There you go.
What is the population on that though?
Leavenworth?
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of a big town. In Kansas standards.
Yeah.
Leavenworth has grown into Lansing, so that's basically one town. Fort Leavenworth is there, which is where the United States Disciplinary Barracks are, and the Command General Staff College, like the Army base. So basically, if you're going to be an officer, if you're ever going to have a chance of being a general or a colonel, really, you have to go to that college.
Yeah.
Once you're in the Army. So there's a big military population. The prison is there, the federal penitentiary. So there's a big surplus population of people trying to be close to a relative that's in the prison, plus the workers and their families, that sort of thing. I don't know. I'm not great with I have no idea what the population is.
Dude, that's better than most, I think. Dude, that was pretty good history lesson about.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool town. It's right on the river, right on the Missouri River. Colonel Henry Leavenworth. There's also a Leavenworth out in Washington. Same dude. So, yeah, started as a military outpost on the river.
Wasn't
Buffalo Bill Cody's from there.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. I knew that there was somebody from that area.
And Melissa Etheridge. So,
ooh, come to my window.
Two bangers.
Speaking of 90s music.
Yeah. You want to know what really changed the world? Little Melissa Etheridge.
She's got a good voice,
though. The auditorium of my high school was named after her father, because he was the band teacher at the high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right.
Like a famous band teacher.
Huh. I'll be damned. Explains why she's so popular then, I guess.
My youth pastor dated her when they were in a band together in high school.
Oh, wow. Before she went gay?
Before she went gay. Yeah, before she realized what, I don't know how that works, but yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I didn't mean it in a derogatory way. I'll probably get canceled.
I didn't take it like in a derogatory way.
I guess she was probably always gay, but still figuring herself out is probably
sure. In high school, you're probably just gonna go ahead and date a boy, right?
Yeah, especially back in those days.
70s, like.
Yeah, and in Kansas, they probably would have fucking lynched her ass back then.
It wouldn't have been great. Not great, probably.
Yeah, my
What?
Sorry, man. I'm trying to handle work shit, buddy.
Wow. I was like, whoa, he talked about lynching, and then he's like, well, my what story are you about to bust out? What?
Oh, okay. Sorry, man. I got this. What? I got COVID shit going on at work, man. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm a shitty host. I'm such a shitty host.
Tell everyone to go home.
It doesn't work like that. I work at a mental health facility. That is some people's homes.
Right. Okay. Shelter in place.
Probably for a minute. Yeah. It's actually right. Probably what's going to happen. Anyways, my aunt, she came out of the closet in the 70s, and she would tell me horror stories. And this is in Portland, of all fucking places too.
Wow.
Where she would like be walking. There's a time where she came to one of my shows in Portland, and she's like, oh, just down the road there, about 2 blocks, I was walking down the road with your Aunt Sherry holding her hands, and somebody hit me in the face with a beer bottle out of their car. Just all fucking natural about it.
Wow. That's awful.
Yeah, and she's like the sweetest fucking lady ever, man. And wow. She just was so like, yeah, whatever about it. Didn't even fucking have any.
My mom's been with the same woman for I don't know, 20 something years. They've been married as long as they have legally been allowed to,
Yeah. So they get married then?
Yeah, they got married as soon as Minnesota made it legal. They got married. So she used to be a nun.
Oh, really?
In fact, Sister Joan is my stepmom. Yep. She's a sweet woman.
I bet, man.
She's real kind to my mom. They have a great relationship. It's pretty impressive.
That's rad. I didn't know that about you. You learn something every day.
Yeah. My dad found a new wife who is also a total sweetheart, who I love very much. Just kind of a good deal all around, which doesn't always work out like that.
No, it doesn't, man. You know,
Kind of beautiful. I wish maybe they could be a little bit more amicable. But also, I don't think that's a bridge I'm trying to build right now. You know what I mean?
sometimes, man, you gotta let them handle their shit the way it needs to be handled. You know, because
Hey, look, you get a good run, you have a good run. When it's over, it's over.
that's how you gotta look at it.
That's
like,
okay.
you know, not everything's forever. You know, that's
Sure.
a lot of people that have been together forever. And I came to this realization about a year ago. I lost my grandmother, who I was so close with, man. And I based all my relationships kind of around her and my grandpa's. And once she passed on, I realized how fucking miserable they were together.
Right.
You know, like, and I don't think they were necessarily miserable, but they kind of beat each other into submission. Like, my grandpa was like a terrible alcoholic piece of shit all throughout their younger days, you know,
Right.
like just an asshole.
Right.
Basically the biggest piece of shit you can fucking think of, as far as a, you know, typical 60s husband, drinking, beating the kids, you know.
Right.
80s comes around, he almost dies, so he gets sober. Or 70s, late 70s comes around, so he gets sober, but he's still kind of a prick, you know. And then he becomes a drug counselor, and like things kind of get better, but by this point they're like old, and they just like, I feel like if she would have been in a different time where it was more acceptable to be like, I'm not going to take your shit.
Out of there. Fucking out of there. Taking the kids, getting the fuck. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like she put a lot of her life off to fucking, I don't think she regretted any of it. I mean, she's got a bunch of grandkids and great grandkids that love her dearly and put her on a pedestal, you know, but I think she deserved better, you know. And I love my grandpa too. I respect the shit out of him for what he did and how he changed his life around, you know. And that grandpa, I never knew that guy, you know. My grandpa was,
Right.
But it took me a lot, like realizing why my mom's so fucked up, you know, and like why my aunts and uncles are all fucked up, you know, because
Right.
why they really resent him, you know. And then the thing is like they always kind of say like they never really heard him apologize to anybody about it either. You know, he just kind of got better and then didn't really address it ever, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Fucking kind of pissed him off just the same, you know.
Right.
So
yeah, it's almost like re-injuring that. Like, hey,
Yeah,
can we at least talk about what happened? Like, I'm so proud of you, but now that you're sober, can we address that?
Yeah, no, and
That
another
fucking
thing too
sucked, bro.
that was
Like,
probably really hard to watch is like, so all this shit happened like down in the Portland area, and he moved over to the eastern side where you've been to get away from his brothers and sisters who were kind of like, you know, part of the problem with him.
mhm.
And so he started essentially a new life when he got sober. So like then he became like this pillar of the community because he's getting all these people sober. So all these
Right.
people put him on a pedestal as this like great human. And my grandma and my aunts and uncles will have to watch this and be like, oh, fucking it's
Right.
boy, they're proud of him. At the same time, they're kind of like they probably resent him a bit at the same time, you know, and rightfully so.
Like a little bit of like, he should know better than to take that praise. He should be deflecting a little bit of that and being like, look, I was an asshole. Like, I get it. You know? I'm doing a lot of that lately. Acknowledging all that shit. Making a lot of apologies when they're necessary, and you know.
Yeah, me too, man. It's part of that whole process.
You talk about the first, you know, me being hammered at your house and shit. I'm sure that was true. I'm sure it was late night after a show, or maybe even the next afternoon. Who knows? Like, I did a lot of that on tour. It was part of for me, it was part of the thing. I didn't realize how hard it was to tour. You know, like to just be out there, and also coming home and not having shit at the end of it. You know? I didn't really realize that I was in it. I have a much healthier approach to touring now, you know?
Yeah, it is. For me, it was food, man, you know, because I'd kind of battled I don't know. Booze and pills.
Yeah.
Now that I say it out loud, or not booze, but food and pills, because I quit booze and then I picked up pills and didn't even realize I had a problem for like a year.
Right.
I remember clearly sitting there at that Muddy Roots that I was telling you about, high as shit on fucking Percocet, telling Sean Wheeler straight faced that I'd been sober, and
Right.
talking about how I was sober with Sean Wheeler. And then when he walked away, I had this realization, like, I'm not fucking sober. Not even close.
Not even close. And Sean is actually being a sober person, probably saw him and was like, okay, dude. Like, good for you.
Yeah, he probably knew. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And a guy, not only just a sober person, but a sober person that's done it all.
Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, I've been that sober before. You're pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
but I mean, like, I'd convince myself I didn't have a problem because I just replaced one problem with another problem,
Sure.
So, and I mean, my drinking was bad too. I mean, it was bad. So that's why I quit. But, and I drink now, but like not as much as I used to, which I feel glad that I quit when I did. And I kind of quit by accident because I just went on tour with Bob and they were all sober and it's too busy to drink because I was selling merch. So I wasn't the guy that was getting to walk around and be social. I was the guy behind the merch table. So it worked out good for me, but
my relationship with alcohol definitely changed during the pandemic. I don't know what, there's probably a lot of factors for that, but like definitely changed. It's not as much of a thing. I know I'm mixing sparkling water and wine right now, but I was up till 7 this morning playing music. So
and you're pre-funking for a show too.
Yeah, I mean that show's in a few hours. I already talked to Scotty, but I don't think we're gonna meet up till he gets down there.
Yeah, he's with JD Pincus from Butthole Surfers. Isn't that who JD? Cool. Isn't that who JD is? I think.
Yeah. Did he also play with the Melvins?
I don't know, but I know he played with a band called Honky out of Austin. I'm pretty sure that's the same guy.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that should be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah. I'm gonna head down there. It's a beautiful day in Kansas. What's it like there?
Beautiful day. A little overcast, but it's warm.
Yeah. I'm out in the sunroom today. It's the first day I've been out here in a while. But my desk has a window, so I'm always looking out the window. We have a piebald squirrel, Pietro, the piebald squirrel.
Pietro.
So he's like, his body is all white. He's got like a brown face mask and a reddish tail. All white body. I saw him change. Like his body quit producing melanin. So his hair all just slowly turned white. It was silver for a while, and then like half white, and then I wish he was out. I'd show him off to you.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
He's my favorite squirrel of all time.
Yeah, man. Squirrels are fun, man. That's one thing I've really been noticing that kind of shit lately, actually.
Because we're old. We watch squirrels now.
And birds. I'm a big bird guy these days. I watch birds a lot. Honeycutt got me to be a bird guy. I never thought I'd say that.
There's too many cats in this neighborhood for birds.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm surprised the squirrel made it.
Oh, you don't fuck with Pietro. There's lots of squirrels. We got a lot of trees. I can hear birds and shit going on, but whatever, It's no prairie.
That's
I'm in the middle of the biggest city in Kansas.
Yeah.
Which is also not a big population. Maybe with surrounding areas like 600, 650.
Yeah. That's just Kansas, man. Like I was gonna make a statement the other day. I was like, all cities are kind of big towns in which are in Kansas, really.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about moving out that way actually because I've been doing some research because Oregon's so expensive right now.
Yeah,
and it's just blowing up out here, and I'm like, I'm not married.
You would love Kansas City. You would love Kansas City.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's what I'd
As
be.
much as I'd like you to come to Wichita, all we would do is commiserate that we're not in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Lawrence is a really cool town, but it's a little more expensive. It's like the most liberal town in
Really?
Kansas for sure. College town. That's where KU is.
Mhm.
That's where, like,
Yeah, Kansas City is probably one of my favorite cities out there.
yeah,
And in Missouri, they say that
it's like a poor man's Chicago.
yeah, well, they say Missouri is one of the best states right now for um pay rate to rent ratios, I guess. Like the cost
All right.
of living is probably the most fair there, even with everything.
All right.
So essentially I could move there and make a decent living probably and afford
Sure.
things. Unlike here where I live in an apartment and get paid super good, you know?
Right. Yeah, you get a house there. Plus, they have a lot of extra houses. They have a lot of abandoned houses that if you do a certain amount of improvements on in a year, they're like giving them away.
Huh. That's like
I mean,
in Detroit, they do that sometimes where you get like a house for like $3,000, but all the copper wiring is like stripped out of it and
Right.
shit.
Right. This is not as bleak as Detroit, for sure.
No, not at all.
Last time I was in Detroit, it was just like, it's a fucking wasteland, man.
I remember
it's a little bit in the last couple of years. I haven't been there in probably 3 years, but
yeah, I remember the first time I went to Detroit and being like, whoa, like I've heard stories, but like I didn't realize it was this fucking bad. Like Jesus
Right.
Christ.
that was the richest city in America at one point.
Yeah. And you know what, man? I still like it. Detroit's rad.
Detroit's rad in a sort of post-apocalyptic radness.
Yeah. I mean, you're correct there, but it's got these little
Like
niches.
it's exciting because everyone's got a gun on them.
On them.
You know?
Yeah,
like,
because if they leave it anywhere, it'll get stolen.
right. I remember getting to Courtney's house, fish guts from the gallows.
Mm-hmm.
Joey and Cody were skateboarding across the street. The neighbor from across the street came out and just fired a shotgun in the fucking air. Like, boom! They were just jumped around like, what the fuck? He's just cracking up. It's like it's not normal to just walk out of your front yard and start firing weapons in the air. That is gonna fucking freak some Kansas kids out. We know firearms in Kansas. We get it, but damn, he just thought it was hilarious. He's like, "Oh, they're like, should we not be skating?" You're like, "No, you're fine. I just want to fuck with you." We're back like, what the fuck? This is the Wild West, man. Like,
Pretty much, yeah, man.
I mean, people were out in their yards. No one fucking flinched. They all just laughed at the skateboarders flinching. Like, look, he just scared them. That's hilarious. Like, that's Bill. What are you gonna do? Like, what the fuck? What else you got for me, bud?
Oh, I don't know, buddy. I think that's about it. Do you have any you have like a website with merch or anything?
Pretty low on merch right now. Pretty light. I spent all my merch money to go record that record. So, gotta pay the merch guy to re-up on merch. No website right now. Working on that. I think Jared's gonna have that up probably within the month. No, I do some Facebook live streams every now and then for some tips, which I appreciate. Those are always a fun show. I get to talk with everyone as they hop online and everything. That's been the most fun interaction lately, really, is some of those online shows. Because you can get people from all over talking to each other, you know.
Yeah, that was fun during the pandemic.
It's still fun. It's just you got to pick your spots. I like to
Yeah.
do Sunday. I like to do early, like Sunday afternoons, because I can get a lot of my European friends and stuff
Oh, yeah.
watching. It's mid-afternoon for people here in the States, so they're let's put it up on their television, and do their chores or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah. Other than that, I'll definitely be touring once this album's out. I'll probably have to release it streaming first, you know, just to have something out there, you know.
Yeah, just to make $3 off of Spotify.
Right. Yeah, I'm not real sure how to navigate all that. I feel like Bandcamp works. You get a little bit more money from Bandcamp, and they
but it's. I don't think it works as well, unfortunately. But a place called DistroKid that costs about $20 a year. They'll put your shit up everywhere you want it, and then pay you whatever a quarter of a penny for every fucking stream on Spotify.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever. Like, dude, it was so good seeing you, man.
It was great seeing you and talking to you. We can do this anytime, whether you record it or not. So.
Yeah, buddy. We'll do it again soon. Once you get that album out, I'll give you a Zoom invite again. I just wanted to bring this up real quick. I remember when I got off stage playing at Moonrunners, you were the first person that I saw, and you had 2 bottles of ice cold water waiting for me because you knew I'd got out of the back of that U-Haul. We drove about 3 hours in the back of that U-Haul when we broke down. And I remember telling you, I said, Brooke, I could give you an open mouth kiss right now. And you're like, a simple thank you would do.
It's just water, bro. We all need water.
But yeah, that was. I forgot I wanted to bring that tale up.
Yeah, man, I care about you. Everyone's got to stay hydrated.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. That was so great because that was one of the most rock star things I've ever done, I think. Fuck. But yeah, anyways, appreciate you, man.
I love you.
I love you too, man. I'm looking forward to hearing your new music and everything. Cool. And if you get out here, hit me up, man. I got a place for you to stay. I'll help you book some shows if you need to.
Fair enough. Same.
Peace. Later, brother.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Big thanks to Brook Blanch for coming on. If you guys want to come on, if you're a musician or an artist, wrestler, anything like that, you want to come on and talk shop with me, shoot me up. Give me a shout out on any of my social medias. Or you can email me at dogwaterradio, all lowercase letters, at gmail.com. And we'll set something up. We're also always looking for new music for Dogwater. Me and Felix are working on a new show. I talked about my knee surgery a bunch, so everybody kind of knows I'm going to be down. But later on this week sometime, we will be airing another interview from Lauren Walker Madsen. So, yeah. We're going to send you guys out with Empty Bottle by the Calamity Cubes.
I'd rather have an empty bottle than no bottle at all, to remind me of the good times before our last call, to remind me of the days before the fall. I'd rather have an empty bottle than no bottle at all. I'll try to keep this rowdy woman, I'm scared she'll leave me alone. This life is a struggle, and I need someone to hold. Our days are but loving. We've shed our share of tears. I'll try to keep this rowdy woman. It's loneliness I fear. Take that empty bottle, I'll carry it till the end. Led me to the good times and stuck with me through the bad. Yeah, I know that it won't fill up again, but I'll never leave it behind. I'm gonna take that empty bottle that's been a good friend of mine, and I'd rather have an empty bottle than no bottle at all, to remind me of the good times before last call, to remind me of the days before the fall. I'd rather have an empty bottle than no bottle at all, and I'd rather have an empty bottle